Just as important as resumes are and presentation in terms of getting a job, so is keeping yourself clean on the internet. Odds are people out there listening have done a vanity search on Google. That's where you put your name in and you check out what's appearing on the internet about you. And if you haven't, then start doing it, because you want to keep your profile out there representative of who you are or who you want yourself to be seen as, especially if you're going for a job. I do know that most recruitment agencies and most HR people will do a quick Google search or a Facebook search for a prospective employee. I know that I certainly check out anyone that I may have representing my business. So you do want them to see positive and not negative. So you certainly don't want them seeing that embarrassing photo of you drunk with your friends at the pub last Friday night, plastered all over the internet. I do know of some incidents where people have actually not even got to the job interview stage because people have seen what's been posted of them and it's not representative of what they want for their company. And there was quite a famous case in the States going back a few years ago now where a lady called Lindsay Stone, I think her and her friends were sort of a bit anti-authority, like she was quite young. She'd posted a couple of silly photos up on Facebook that she had her privacy settings to just her friends and friends of friends. However, one, it involved giving the bird, so to speak, near a tombstone of a returned soldier. Her intention was not anything to disrespect the soldier, but there was some particular writing that she was giving the bird to. That went viral very quickly on the internet. And within a day of that being posted, there was then a page put up via Lindsay Stone because she worked in disability. Within 30 minutes, that had over 50,000 likes and she was actually fired from her job. She lost her job because of it. And even though she was getting on there saying, that wasn't my intention, I have family that are returned servicemen, etc., her employer felt that they needed to make a public statement, which they did, and said her photos were not representative of the company and she lost her job because of it. So it is very important how you put yourself out there, and especially for young people. If there's anyone listening or their parents are listening, get through to them how important it is to have quite respectful photos and really take a look at things from a third person's perspective and how other people would view those photos. You might see it as fun and understand what the whole meaning behind those particular photos were, but other people might take a different style to it, such as the case in Lindsay Stone. So it's very, very important. There are things you can do if you've got plenty of embarrassing things out there or statements, and we all do it when we're younger. I've done it now as an older person, you know. You might not quite think about the actual consequences of something that gets put out there. So all I would suggest is if you are in the job market, then go back and really read all of your profiles. So check yourself, do that vanity search on Google, see what comes up with your name. Also check out Facebook, LinkedIn, any of the profiles that you have on those social media networks, and really look at them critically, not as you, and even maybe get someone else to have a look at them for you and take away anything that could be misconstrued and could possibly be negative. There are several companies and apps out there that can help you clean up your Facebook profile. It is one of the things that I offer as part of my consulting side of the business, is having a chat to people about it and seeing what can be done. The other thing is if you can't actually have it removed, because it can be quite time consuming, it's best to bury it. So there are a few things that you can do, such as create a nameplate for yourself. So that's your name as a domain, and you utilise that domain then to create a website that employers could go to or other organisations or people could go to, and you are in control of that completely. So you're posting up there, like if you have a science interest, for example, you would post things like that in a little bit of a blog so they can get to know a little bit more about you. So that's one way to do it. And the other thing is if there are profiles that have been not so great, you can actually delete all of those and restart again and try and bury in the search and just put up all the positive things. There are several ways you can go about it.
Belinda, you said before about, we're talking about privacy settings, it may only be friends and friends of friends, but I don't know how you feel, but friends of friends can be a great big black ocean, can't it?
No, it can be.
It's just indefinite.
Yeah, look, you might have a really good friend that you might even classify as in your inner circle, so to speak, but they may have a friend that doesn't like you. So that's the other thing you have to worry about in terms of managing your online reputation is, are there people out there that would set out to make my life difficult? And they can actually be that group of friends of friends. So if someone, and it does happen with teenagers, might have that jealousy of a friendship, they might set out to actually make you look bad. So that's what you have to worry about. If there's a potential for an embarrassing photo to be put out there, or if it's something you don't want people to see, don't be doing it.
I remember hearing once, don't say it or don't do it if you wouldn't want to see it on the front cover of the New York Times.
Exactly. Love that one.
So it's kind of a good guide. I think there can be a lot of false confidence as well. Things like Snapchat. I know that the whole idea of that started that teenagers can chat away and it disappears after a certain amount of time. However, what's written and what is shown can also be screenshotted.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the dangerous part of it all.
I think that's the key, is that as soon as it leaves you, you've lost control of it. Whether it's for a brief amount of time or if it's just on Facebook and it's friends of friends, anyone that has those permissions can then download it and then those restrictions are gone.
And I guess another thing to think about is you're not necessarily the only person with your name. So there could be someone with your name that doesn't have the same sort of morals as you, I guess, and doesn't worry about what gets posted. So you don't want that being mistaken for you either. So you really have to take charge of managing your online profile, not only for yourself, but also for your name. That's just as important. Yeah. It's quite interesting when you do Google your name and what else may come up.